we can see that a lot of waste will be generated because of the manufacturing sector and also because of the consumption sector. Whenever a business enterprise releases lot of pollutants into the environment, it is liable to pay compensation to the people of that area. So environmental resources have to be protected, and as such it is the role, social responsibility of the business. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence. In this session 2 on social responsibility and business ethics, we will have a discussion on what is pollution, what are the types of pollution, and we will also be having a discussion on the ways to remove this pollution. First, let us have a look into what do we mean by pollution here, business and environmental protection. So we all know that environmental protection is a part of the business social responsibility of the business. Now, let us see how this pollution is there in the environment. See, pollution exists because the environment can absorb only a limited amount of pollutants and waste. If you can see here in this picture here, there are lots of pollution here. So the river is being polluted because of all the plastics and the waste which is being dumped into the river. So this is one of the main reasons for pollution, because the nature or water cannot absorb everything. So it cannot degenerate whatever the plastic we are throwing into the water. That is why the water is getting polluted. Lots of chemicals are being dumped into the water, as a result of which the quality of water is falling down. Now, business and environmental protection here, some hazardous waste or toxic byproducts and chemicals are termed as hazardous pollutants because they have toxic characteristics and environment cannot assimilate. Yes, so why do we say that plastic should be banned? Because the plastic is something which cannot degenerate. So it will be there for the next 100 to 200 years. So there are a lot of things which are polluting the earth because of the factories or because of the consumption. So even if you buy a bar of chocolate, so the chocolate will be consuming immediately, but the wrapper will be there for the next 100 to 200 years because it does not degenerate, because the plastic in the wrapper, it is not made of degenerative material. So this plastic will enter the earth, and all the chemicals which are used there in the plastic, so it is poisoning our mother earth. See, the toxic characteristics the environment cannot assimilate. Here you can see lot of waste which is being dumped here. So because of that, you can see that the water is being polluted here. And then next, let us see about the other risks. Pollution thus causes risk to environmental quality, human health, and damage to natural and man-made resources. So pollution, it is causing risk to environmental quality. The quality of the earth is coming down. Then it is also having repercussions on the human health and damage to natural and man-made resources. So everything is being damaged. Then protection of the environment is directly related to the control of pollution. So if we can control the pollution we are doing, or we can control the amount of smoke we are releasing or the waste we are releasing into the water, air, etc., then we can have a better earth. So we can have a better environment for ourselves. Then next, let us look into what are the various causes of pollution. So industry, government, agriculture, mining, energy, transportation, construction, and consumers generate waste. Now, we can see that a lot of waste will be generated because of the manufacturing sector and also because of the consumption sector. So, we can see that industry is contributing to the waste, government also is contributing, agriculture also, mining, energy, transportation, construction. So, everybody is contributing to the waste in the planet. So, this waste, if it is degenerative, then it is fine. But then most most of the waste is not degenerative. So it cannot be absorbed by Mother Earth. So that is why it is giving out toxins. Then waste contain pollutants, which the materials of chemicals that have been discarded during the process of production or consumption. So these pollutants which we are discarding into the earth or into the land or into the air, they are causing lot of problems for the humans, and also it is causing lot of pressure for the animals also. Then pollution is caused by these pollutants which are released into the environment beyond its assimilation capacity. So the waste is generated in tons and tons, and this tons of waste, it is not being able to be assimilated by the earth. So that is why this pollution is creating lot of problems for all of us. So industry is the major generator of waste in terms of both quantity and toxicity. So we can see that industry which is engaged in the production of goods and services, so it is the major contributor of waste. In terms of quantity of waste also, it is very huge, and also the toxicity. So it is giving out poisonous gases into the air, which is very, very harmful for the human and health. So industry is a major generator of waste in terms of both quantity and toxicity. Then next, the causes of pollution are, so we can see there are many causes here. One is air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, and noise pollution. Now let us have a look into what do we mean by air pollution. So air pollution is the result of a combination of factors which lowers the air quality. It is mainly due to the carbon monoxide emitted by automobiles, which contributes to air pollution. Similarly, smoke and other chemicals from the manufacturing plants pollute the air. So we can see that the air pollution, the main reason for air pollution is the emission of carbon monoxide by the vehicles. So nowadays we cannot have any transportation without releasing smoke into the air. Now this smoke which is given out by the vehicles, it contains carbon monoxide. Apart from this, we have smokes and chemicals which are coming from the manufacturing plants, which are polluting the air. Now this is giving so much of pollution in the air, and because of which we have the hole in the ozone layer is being depleted, and as a result of which we are having global warming. So this global warming is a result of this air pollution, because we are releasing toxic chemicals in the air, and this toxic chemicals is depleting the ozone layer, as a result of which the ultraviolet rays of the sun, it is entering the earth, and it is causing the global warming of the earth. Here, next is water pollution. Now, what is this water pollution? Water becomes polluted primarily from chemical and waste dumping. For years, business enterprises have been dumping waste into rivers, streams, and lakes with a little regard for the consequences. So, this water pollution is one of the main reason for chemical and waste dumping. So, we have been dumping all the sewage water and all the industrial waste into our rivers, streams, and lakes, and all this has given rise to water pollution. Then, next pollution is land pollution. So the dumping of toxic waste on land causes land pollution. This damages the quality of land, making it unfit for agriculture or plantation. If you can see this here, all the waste, that is the plastic bottles, and all kinds of e-waste are being dumped into the land, and because of which all the toxins are released into the land, and this makes the soil unfit for agriculture or any other plantation. Nothing grows there. So it becomes a desert. If you keep on dumping all these kinds of e-waste and all those radiations, so all this will give rise to a poisonous land where nothing will grow. Then the next cause of pollution is the noise pollution. Noise caused by running of factories and vehicles is not merely a source of annoyance, but also a serious health hazard. Now, we all know that once we are living in the city, we have to live with the noise, whether it is noise coming from the factories or from the vehicles. So everything is a noise itself. Now this noise, it is a serious health hazard because it can have an impact on our health. So this noise has given rise to various kinds of diseases, mental stress to most of the people, and it is there to just, we have to see how the health has been affected because of this noise pollution. Now let us have a look into what is the need for pollution control. Now first one is the reduction of health hazards. So we are having lot of evidence that most of this pollution which is being caused by the industrial sector, it has given rise to diseases like cancer and heart attacks. So all these diseases are the result of the pollution which we are generating in the environment. Now, it is the duty of the business enterprises to see that they pollute, they just try it before they just release the waste into the system, that is the water or smoke or whatever they are releasing into the nature. They have to treat it and then release it in order to reduce the health hazards. Then the next need for pollution control is reduced risk of liability. So whenever a business enterprise releases lot of pollutants into the environment, it is liable to pay compensation to the people of that area. Now, in order to reduce the liability of compensation to be paid, it will be better for the business community to treat these waste properly and then release into the environment so that it causes less hazard to the environment. Then third one is cost savings. Now this almost all the business enterprises, they have to have a sewage treatment plant or a treatment plant for the waste. So in order to see that they are very efficient in their use of material resources whatever they are having, so they have to see that the resources are utilized to the maximum extent so that the waste generated will be very minimal. So when the waste generated is very minimal, then they can have a reduction in the cost of savings. Then next one is improved public image. When we can see that most of the business enterprises, they are engaged in production, or most of the business enterprise, they take care to see that they are protecting the environment. This will raise their image in the eyes of the public. So if the business enterprise is more concerned about environmental protection, then this will be an image builder for the business, and the public will cooperate with such business enterprises. Then other social benefits. In the last point, we can say that in other social benefits, if the business environment is successful in pollution control, then we can have a cleaner environment, cleaner buildings, and a better quality of air around us. These are the reasons why we need this pollution control. Now, next, let us have a look into the role of business in environmental protection. Now, it is the social responsibility of every business to take steps not only to check all sorts of pollution but also to protect environmental resources. So, it is the duty of every business to take steps to check all sorts of pollution but also to protect the environmental resources. So environmental resources have to be protected, and as such it is the role, social responsibility of the business. Then they are the leading creators of wealth, employment, trade and technology. Then next, they also command huge financial, physical and human resources. So the business enterprise, with all these huge financial, physical and human resources, it is in a better position to tackle this problem of pollution. Then they also have the know-how to solve the environmental pollution problems with a preventive approach by controlling pollutants at the source. So we all know that the business community is the major source of pollutants which is being released into the environment. So if it can just do some treatment before it releases the waste, then that will be a very good factor for our environment. Then a modification or change in the process of production, redesign of equipment, substituting poor quality materials with better better ones or innovative approaches could greatly reduce or even eliminate pollution entirely. So what is now being expected of the business community is, so they should have a change in the process of production or redesign the equipment, then substitute poor quality materials with better quality ones, then have innovative approaches so that we can eliminate pollution once for all. Then there are certain steps which can be taken by the business environment. First step is a definite commitment by top management of the enterprise to create, maintain and develop work culture for environmental protection and pollution prevention. So there should be a commitment by the top management. The top management should know that it has to create, maintain and develop a work culture for environmental pollution and pollution prevention. Then the second step is ensuring that commitment to environmental protection is shared throughout the environments by all divisions and employees. So we should know that there is a proper, this thought of environmental protection should be there by all divisions and employees. Then third one is developing clear-cut policies and programs for purchasing good quality raw materials, employing superior technology, using scientific techniques of disposal and treatment of waste, developing employee skills for the purpose of pollution control. So we should have clear-cut policies and programs for what? For purchasing good quality raw materials and have good technology, scientific techniques for waste disposal and employee skills, etc. So through this we can have pollution control. Then the fourth step is complying with the laws and regulations enacted by the government for prevention of pollution. So we should see that we abide by the laws written down by the government. Then the fifth step is participation in government programs relating to management of hazardous substances, clearing up of polluted rivers, plantation of trees and checking deforestation. So business community, it should participate in governmental programs relating to management of hazardous substances. So we know that there are so many parts in the mobiles or the computers, so what we call as the e-waste, that are giving out lot of radiations. So these are very hazardous and they have to be disposed of in a proper manner. Then clearing up of the polluted rivers. The rivers have already been polluted. Now it is our duty to clean up the rivers, plantation of trees and checking the deforestation. The next is periodical assessment of pollution control programs in terms of costs and benefits so as to increase the progress with respect to environmental protection. So we have to have a periodical assessment of pollution control programs. So in terms of costs and benefits, so that we can have environmental protection. Then the next step is arranging educational workshops and training materials to share technical information experience with suppliers, dealers and customers to get them actively involved in pollution control programs. So if you can see here, they have given us separate bins here for plastic, glass, metal and paper. So try to see that you segregate the waste and then dump it, so that the waste which are not degenerative, so you can just treat them and then you can dispose it. So in order to have a safe environment, it is better to have educational workshops and training, and then we'll have to have sharing of technical information and experience with the suppliers, dealers and customers. Actively take part in these pollution control programs. Hope you have understood this session on environment and pollution control. Thank you.